Today we're diving into a really thought-provoking thesis from Professor Mohammed Noor Dogan. He makes a powerful case for going back to the primary source to truly understand Islam, and his whole idea kicks off with this incredibly vivid, almost jarring image. Let's take a look.
So we start with this quote, right? It's from Haz Ali, and he's talking about people who, he felt, had just completely missed the point of their faith. This idea of a religion being worn inside out, that's the central metaphor for everything we're going to talk about. It's such a striking image. Something is clearly deeply wrong.
Okay, so what does that actually mean? A religion worn like an inside-out garment? Well, according to the author, it's what happens when the most fundamental, core concepts of the faith get flipped, twisted, and just totally misapplied. The outside might still look kind of familiar, but the inside, the actual truth and function of it, is completely lost.
To hammer this point home, he uses another great analogy, a rotten nut. Think about it. Key religious terms and ideas might look solid. They sound right, but when you crack them open, there's nothing there. Their original, profound meaning has been eaten away, leaving just an empty shell. This idea is absolutely central to the problem he's laying out.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The author draws a sharp line between two versions of religion. On one side, you've got revealed religion. This comes straight from the Quran. It's universal, it's divine. But on the other side, you have altered religion. This is what's pieced together from human traditions, culture, and all sorts of interpretations. It's tied to a specific time and place, and it's super prone to getting distorted. This is the inside-out garment in action.
So if the religion has been turned on its head, the next big question is how? How did this happen? Well, the author argues the problem lies in the very places people are getting their information about their faith.
Which leads him to ask this fundamental question, and I'm going to pose it directly to you. Where are we really reading Islam from? Is it the foundational text itself, or is it coming from somewhere else entirely? The author's point is that, for so many, the answer is not the Quran. Instead, their understanding of the religion gets cobbled together from all these other sources, customs, stories, poems, you name it. He says these things have essentially pushed the main text aside, creating that altered, culture-based religion we just talked about.
All right, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? This is where the author brings us back to what he calls the absolute heart of Quranic Islam, the concept of Tawheed. But here's the twist. He frames it not as just a belief, but as a dynamic, life-changing project.
Now, Tawheed is, at its core, the principle of the absolute oneness of God. Simple enough, right? But according to this source, it's so much more than a theological term. It's presented as a project for absolute salvation, a practical blueprint for liberating humanity right here, right now.
This famous call to action is everything to the author's point. Say there is no God but Allah, and you will be saved. The salvation he's talking about isn't just about the afterlife. It's interpreted as liberation from all the mental, social, and psychological chains that hold us captive in this world. So what does this liberation actually look like day to day? Well, according to the author, this project of Tawheed is a roadmap to true inner freedom. It's about breaking free from our deepest fears, from the chains of materialism, from that crushing societal pressure to conform, and even from the worship of modern-day idols like status, power, or money.
But how do you actually get this project started? How do you activate it? The author points to one specific human tool that he believes is the engine of a living, breathing faith, the power of thought itself. And here's another incredibly powerful analogy from the source. Thought is described as the actual soul of life. A society that stops thinking, that gives up on reasoning, is like a body without a soul. Sure, it might still be there, but it's decaying, it's stagnating, it's fundamentally lifeless. For faith to be alive, thought has to be active. And this is such a cool point. The author makes a crucial distinction in the language. He points out that the Quran doesn't just talk about reason as a thing, as a noun. It almost always uses the verb form, yaqilun, which means they are using reason, or they are actively thinking. The implication is huge. Faith isn't about just having a brain. It's about the constant active process of using it. So let's bring all these ideas together. What we've really been looking at is a powerful call to turn that garment right side out again, to shift from a hollowed-out culture-based religion to one that is alive and buzzing with meaning, because it's connected directly to its source. So what are the big takeaways here? First, it's about learning to see the difference between a religion shaped by culture versus one built on the Quran's universal principles. Second, it's about seeing Tawhid not as just something to believe, but as a hands-on project for human freedom. And finally, recognizing that critical thinking isn't hostile to faith, it's its very soul. According to the author, this is how you turn the garment right side out. And we'll leave you with this last question, which really expands the author's message way beyond just this one topic. If thought truly is the soul of life, what is the source of your understanding about anything? Is it the primary source, or is it an echo of something else? That's a question worth sitting with.